you to everyone for coming back. That's good. So, what I was mostly here to talk about and work with other elements, Louis, on the Python algebra. Thought there might be some interest in some other work I'm involved with, which is the Pytch system. So, I think most of you might have heard the introduction from Paolo earlier, but my name is Ben. Thank you very much for having me here. I'm a research fellow in Trinity College, Dublin. This workshop is about Pytch, our system which bridges the gap from Scratch to Python. So I'm going to talk just for a short time, and then we'll get on with some work together. So I see the laptop's out, that's good. So we'll do some programming shortly. So the big picture, what are we trying to do with our Pytch system? Why? So the big picture, the big goal is that we want people to understand how technology is made and maybe, hopefully, be empowered to create their own technology, not just consume technology made by other people. So more concretely, for this project, we want to help educators deliver computer science as a school subject, and we want to help learners remain engaged with computer science. So this is us. There's a project lead. I'm a research fellow. We have a research assistant, PhD student, and some other collaborators in different in a different institution, Technological University of Dublin, and we're funded by the Science Foundation Ireland. So to give you the background on how things are in Ireland, and from conversations, it seems that a lot of these observations will apply in other countries as well. In 2023, this report found that less than 1/6 of secondary schools, high schools, offer computer science at, we call it leaving certificate. It's the exam that students do when they are about 18 years old as they leave school. So only 1/6 of schools offer computer science. There were only 34 fully accredited computer science teachers registered in the whole country. The report also found that teacher confidence is often low. Teachers are not very confident at teaching computer science. And yes, from discussions I've had, it seems that is some of those things are true here as well. So these are not just Irish problems. So let's look at a learner's typical journey. So a common path that a learner might take as they learn computer science, learn computer programming, is through Scratch. So I understand that that's not as well known here as in Ireland or the UK maybe, but if you haven't seen Scratch, then I would encourage you to have a play with it. So it looks like the screenshot at the top right there, a colourful screenshot of a game that the person has made, like just somebody in the world, I don't know who. This project was promoted on the Scratch site. So people like making these games or animations or stories or art. So Scratch lets you make these engaging graphics and sound. You cannot make syntax errors. You make your code by clicking together blocks on the screen. And Scratch has a particular paradigm, particular way of thinking about how you write a program. Computer programs in Scratch are event-driven, so code runs when things happen, like a depress or a click on a sprite. And Scratch programs are concurrent, so more than one piece of code can run at the same time. So that's Scratch. That's what students might learn until or work with. Maybe at primary school when they are 8 or 9 or 10, maybe into secondary school, 10, 11, 12, 13. But then students would have to, or maybe they wanted to, learn a more grown-up computer programming language, which is often Python. And that looks a bit like, that's the same picture that was in the earlier talk, if you were here. So that's what Python looks like. It's text. It's often mathematical computation for its text input and output. So it's very different in at least two important ways. So the student has to learn a new way of expressing the behavior they want. So they don't click nice friendly blocks together on the screen anymore. They have to type in code exactly right. Every comma has to be in the right place, every bracket has to be in the right place. So that's one big change to their thinking. And they also lose the nice Scratch micro world of graphics, acts, sounds, and the very way of writing the program. So the concurrent event-driven way of writing Scratch programs, they lose that as well. So there's two big changes they have to make at once, and this puts a lot of students off. This is too difficult to change so much at once. So what we have done is built a system that we hope acts as a bridge between these two worlds. So, which I'll show you now. The idea is that the learners get to keep their Scratch knowledge. So they carry on writing concurrent event-driven programs, but with Python text instead of blocks. So they keep their knowledge, most of their knowledge about how programming works, and concentrate just on changing how they express that program. With the hope then that once they know Python syntax and how Python works, then they can leave our system behind and go on to do, I don't know, data analysis or robotics or web scraping or AI, I suppose, or anything that uses Python. So that's what we're hoping. So this is our system, which we will look at results shortly. So if you've seen Scratch before, then this might look roughly familiar. If you haven't, that doesn't matter. But the idea is that at the top right there is an area called stage. So that's where your program runs. That's where Scratch programs run. That's where Pytch programs run. Underneath the stage, so bottom right, there is a collection of the sprites that the word Scratch uses. So the things that your program is made out of, the cats or the dogs or the bouncing balls or the people or whatever. At the left-hand edge of the screen, so down the left column, is help. So like this comes back to a question earlier about how do I know what's available. So Scratch does this very well. Everything's very easy to discover. It's on the screen in front of you, so we're trying to copy that in Pytch. And in the middle is the area where you write your code. So in Scratch, that would be a place where you can click blocks together. In Pytch, you type in your Python code. So it's very similar on purpose. We've made it very similar on the surface. It looks similar. And we've also tried to make it similar in concept as well. So it has sprites, it has event-driven concurrent bits of the program. It has the same API, you would call it. So the sprites can switch a costume to change their appearance. They can change their X or Y location. They can start playing sounds. They can do almost all of the same things that you can do in Scratch. So we hope that people will find all of this very familiar. So from the learner's point of view, that's what they will see. From the teacher's point of view, we've tried to avoid some practical difficulties that often show up. So this is similar to the PyGTP, in fact, and it just runs in the browser. You don't need the system administrator to install something on the school computers. You just need your browser. It's free, it's online, there's nothing to install, there's no sign up. And then to help with teacher confidence, which that report showed was a problem, we have a ready-to-use 8-week set of lesson plans with slides, videos, teacher notes, worksheets, suggested solutions for the worksheets, and the system also has follow-along tutorials for learners who want to explore the system themselves or to help differentiate in class. So somebody finishes the work early, great, go and try this. So far, we've been in the project's been running about 3 or 4 years now, depending on how we start measuring where it starts. So we're pleased with the engagement and impact feedback we've got so far. The lesson plans, they're offered online through a partner project in Ireland. Myself and my colleagues have run workshops and teacher training sessions. We've been at public engagement events where people can come and play games and make games, get the idea that they can make games. We've presented at conferences. We're working with some commercial coding education organizations. We have an exciting collaboration with a group called Techno Camps, which is a 30-year long-established computer science outreach organization in Wales, UK. So we're pleased with how that's going. These are some photos from a recent event we had. So we invited the students to design, create, and personalize a game. So yeah, they have fun, and it's really it's very nice to see people being engaged and fun fast and getting excited about writing code, getting excited about computer science. So that's that was very nice to see. So what we hope to do next year is we know that we need to be better in terms of accessibility. So if a student has poor vision or has other difficulties using a computer system in the way that I'm lucky enough to be able to. So we've recently just done small things to make a difference. So we've improved the contrast and color of the editor, so that there's much more of that to come. We're trying to make the system more inclusive for different areas of the country, for different socio-economic groups, for different languages. The Irish language is very important in Ireland, so we're keen to translate the system into Irish and maybe Portuguese. And we want to develop a community of practice among teachers to make the project more self-supporting, because there's only 6 of us, we can't go around every school in the country. So thank you for your attention so far. So just as in the previous workshop, that's enough of me talking. So I think it'd be good now to give you all the chance to try this. So give me a moment to put up a URL on the screen, then you can start making something. One moment. So, okay, right, so here it is. So here's a URL. So if you're able to go to that URL, I will do the same, and then we can see where we get to. So you go to that URL, you should see something like that. So I don't go to that. Then once you've done that, you click on the demo button that should. Yeah, so that's number 3, capital letter L, and that's the number 1. Bitly sometimes gives you things with LI1 or O0, capital O, but yeah, that one's not too bad. Once that's working, people will start working.